Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about why dating apps don't work for many men. So anytime in the past where I've posted a dating profile video, a dating app video, or just a general video about dating, there's always comments that I get regarding dating apps and the struggles that men face on these type of platforms. And understand that I see you, I hear you, I understand the struggle, and I think you're justified in feeling that way. However, I do think there are some things you can do to make your profile better. But what I'm going to do today is go over the struggles of dating apps, why they don't work for a lot of men, the truth about it, and then maybe some solutions and my honest advice at the end. So let's get started. Number one is that standing out is incredibly tough. I hear you talk about this all the time. I understand. As a woman who was on dating apps at one point, women get so many messages, and I'm talking upwards of hundreds a day. I've seen my girlfriends do this. I've seen videos on TikTok about it. I have been on dating apps in my lifetime, so I understand what it's like. And women are just bombarded with so many messages and matches that it becomes very hard for men to stand out. They just become one man in a sea of other men when you're on a dating app, when you're talking about a dating app. So it's very tough to stand out when you're on a dating app, and unless you're in like the top whatever percent of men on there when it comes to attractiveness, first impressions, it can be really hard to get even past that first initial swipe because it's so quick. People are so quick to judge based off of that very first impression. You have seconds to make an impression on a dating app. So standing out is tough, especially if your first profile picture maybe isn't the best. You just get swiped right by. So it's tough, and it's definitely more superficial on dating apps, even more so than in real life, which I know you hear that and you're like, wow, that's crazy, but it's 100% true. Dating apps are very superficial, very surface level, and very quick to make a first impressions. If you don't make a good one right off the bat, chances are you're not going to get swipes and matches. Standing out in a sea of thousands of messages and profiles is a really daunting task, and it simply just doesn't happen for a lot of guys, unfortunately. So we all know how important it is to put your best foot forward, and this rings especially true when we're talking about dating apps, just because you have to be so quick to make a really great first impression. So a solution that I would offer for you here, while a solution doesn't always fix the problem, it can help you a little bit. I've seen, guys submit profiles to me that just maybe had the wrong first photo. They switch the photo to the one that I tell them to use instead, and their success goes up by, quite a bit. So sometimes really switching that first profile photo, or really just being more intentional about the photos that you're putting on your dating app and making sure that they are good ones, can make a huge difference. And sometimes that requires you to take better photos in general. Are all your photos mirror photos where the girl can't even see your face? If that's the case, she's probably not going to swipe right on you. So knowing these little things and ways to enhance your profile can be helpful. Again, while I know that that doesn't solve the problem for everyone, it can be a helpful fix for some of you. So if you haven't watched any of my profile reaction videos in the past, you can definitely check those out and maybe take some of the advice that I give to other guys and use it towards your profile, and just take what you need. Number two is using apps for validation. And I'm sure that you guys have seen it all over the internet. I actually reacted to it in one of my TikTok videos. But basically there was a podcast. They set up tables at college campuses, and they get people to come on their podcast or show or whatever. And these two girls came on this show and basically said that women are just using dating apps for validation. They don't get on there seriously. They just get on there to get the ego boost, the attention, and the validation from guys, because they know that they're going to have hundreds, if not thousands, swipes, messages, notes, comments, you name it. So there are sadly a lot of women, I'm sure there are men that do this too, but I think the majority here is women who use dating apps as kind of just another form of social media and instant gratification, instant validation. And it becomes almost an addiction for a lot of girls. And again, they just use it like they would when they post a picture of themselves on Instagram. It's just a way to get validation and attention from people, and they don't actually have any intention on using it for serious purposes or going on dates with people. Now, is that every single girl on a dating app? No, and I don't think it's fair to generalize and say that every girl is on dating apps for that reason. I met my fiance on a dating app, so I know that it works for some people, and I know that there are girls on there, who actually want to date and actually want to meet people. I've seen them in my comment section. Hello to all you girls that are watching. I see you out there. So they're not all on there for malicious reasons, and I think it's important to know that, but also be able to see the negative side as well and understand that, sometimes it's not just for a lack of trying on your part, and it's actually because the people on there aren't on there for the right reasons, and it's just a harsh reality that I think we need to acknowledge. And just so you guys can understand what I'm saying, I'm gonna show you this quick little clip just to get a better idea of what exactly I'm talking about.
Wait, so you've like never met anyone off a dating app?
No.
Really?
Wait, why would
But you're
you
on them? That seems like a waste of time. Truly.
It's like another form of social media. What do you mean? It's just like a little
But you're doing the same thing on both platforms.
Right.
just a boost.
Right?
Is there
You know what I
nothing
mean?
a guy can do or look like or seem like on a dating app to make you want to actually meet him?
No, because they're on the app.
But you're on the app.
But it's different.
It's just different.
Number 3 is that maybe your profile stinks. So I know some of you probably put so much effort in and you think that your profile is great, you're feeling really good about it, but you're still not having success. Sometimes it just is because your maybe pictures aren't that good, maybe your bio's not great, maybe you have the wrong profile picture as your first photo. There are so many different nuances and little small things to keep in mind here when it goes to building your profile. So I've actually done a bunch of critique videos in the past where I take a look at different guys' profiles and give my honest opinion, what they could do better, what they're doing well, and I show you guys real life examples of good profiles versus bad profiles, just so you guys can visualize it and use that to enhance and work on your own profiles. Now, since I'm not able to review every single one of your profiles, it's not something I offer and not something that I even have enough time for in the world to do. I think really watching how I've helped other people in the past on those videos could help you make your profile so much better. And I've actually had a lot of those guys who I helped them enhance their profile and make it so much better reach out to me and tell me how many more matches they're getting just by changing up their profile and making it better. So you really kind of have to be self-aware when it comes to your profile and think about, okay, would someone really want to swipe right on me with what I have on my profile right now? Of course, you could enhance your profile and it could not change anything for you. I am not a magician. I can't fix everything for you, unfortunately. Sometimes dating apps just simply don't work for people and they work for other people. That's just kind of the way that life is. It's that way with anything, but it can help and it's worth a try if you're just in the beginning or you think that that might be why you're not having success. So it's worth giving it a shot. Again, watch those videos I've done because I think they can be really helpful. And I really don't say this one to make you feel bad. I'm not trying to tell you that your profile sucks or you suck as a person, but sometimes this really is the reason why you aren't having success on the dating apps, and just making a few small tweaks and enhancing your profile a little bit can really make a huge difference. And my last little point here, number 4, is the message theory. So this is a little theory I've created that maybe your message just isn't passing the vibe check, okay? This could be for a lot of different reasons. Number 1 is maybe you're sending her something very explicit and vulgar and a little too sexual, and you're ruining your chance with this girl. So I've actually had a lot of my girlfriends send me screenshots. They thought this guy was awesome. They thought he was so cute. They swiped right on him, and then they opened their mouth. They sent her a message that, again, like I said, just did not pass the vibe check, and it was an immediate no because of the first message that they sent. So sometimes you can have success actually matching with people, but you're like, no one's messaging me back. Why don't I get any messages? Sometimes it's just because your message isn't maybe the best. And I know that some girls are on dating apps looking for a hookup or some quick fling, and typically you'll be able to gather that from her profile. So I think really being able to read the room and understand when that would be an appropriate situation to send a message on that kind of topic is really important. So understand, be able to read the room, and you're better off just honestly not sending a message like that in general. I think once you start messaging with a girl, you'll quickly find out what it is she's looking for and kind of the vibe that's going on there. So playing it more safe, I think just curating a message for her that you've gathered from her profile is the best way to go about it, and not just sending a copy and paste message also that you've sent to every other girl, or some cringy pickup line that you found online when you typed in how to message a girl on Tinder, okay? You really need to curate a message specifically for the girl that you're messaging. It's going to make you stand out more than the sea of other guys that are just saying hi or what's up or are you from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see. So really curating it to match the girl that you're messaging is going to make a huge difference. And again, reading the room when it comes to being a little sexual or explicit. And one little thing I want you to keep in mind here while you're taking into consideration everything I've said up until this point is that apps tend to work the best for people who look good in their photos or who take good photos, and who come across great in writing. So chances are, if you're not doing either one of those things, that could be a reason why you're not having success. And you don't have to be a 10 out of 10 guy with the most muscular body and most handsome face to get matches on dating apps. That is 100% not true. And while that might help a guy get matches, it's definitely not the end all be all. So if you don't consider yourself a guy that looks like that, you don't need to completely give up and, throw in the towel right away. I think it's important to do these things first, and then if they don't work, then understand when it's time to walk away. But now I'm going to go into my honest advice about dating apps and giving you advice as if you were my little brother. So we all know that I met my fiance on a dating app, so I do know that they work for people. It worked for me. My fiance was a man on a dating app and it worked for him, right? So keeping this in mind is important. I know that they work for some people. I know a lot of other couples that have met on dating apps that are wildly successful in their relationships now. But again, I understand that they don't work for everyone, and there's a lot of different reasons that go into it. So my first little piece of advice here is to be honest with yourself. So really do some self-reflection here and figure out why it's not working. Get to the root or the source of what is not working for you on your dating app. And that requires you to be self-aware. It requires you to see your profile from the perspective of the girls who are swiping on it. Are you being what you want to attract? So figure out what is not working. Really keep in mind all the tips that I mentioned in the video already and apply those to your own profile. Now, if you've already done all of those things and it's still not working for you, I think being so brutally honest here, you have to know when it's time to walk away from the apps and stop spending money on them, because the harsh reality is that these apps are designed to get you to spend money as a man. I've never met a woman who has spent money on a dating app, being totally transparent with you. They are designed to be harder for men and to make men spend money to get more matches and be able to send more messages and whatever it is, because there's like a daily limit sometimes or whatever. So it's gonna vary from app to app, but really they want to get money out of you. So if you've tried everything, you've done everything you possibly can, you've taken great photos, you've made your profile as amazing as it could ever possibly be, there's nothing else you could do, know when it's time to give it up. And I don't like to say to throw in the towel or to give up, but I don't want you guys wasting your money on something that's not giving you anything in return. It becomes almost like gambling. You're putting all this money in, not knowing if you're gonna get anything back. So it comes to a point where you just kind of have to know when it's time to walk away. So really do some self-reflection here. If you've done everything you possibly can to fix your lack of success and it's still not bringing you success, you gotta know when it's time to stop. And my last tip for you is to go the in-person route instead. Don't totally trap yourself into just being on dating apps and not put yourself out there in real life. I think often men have a lot more success meeting women in real life because it's not such a quick, judgmental, surface level swipe in 5 seconds. You can actually show how you interact. You can show how you carry yourself. You can show how you have a conversation with her. You can show a little bit more sense of humor instead of a girl just judging you off of the best photo you've ever taken of yourself, right? You have a lot more opportunity and room to showcase your personality and who you actually are, instead of just showing your best photos that sometimes might not work on every girl, right? I think often meeting in person is just a much easier way for a lot of guys, and sure, then you're faced with other challenges of overcoming social anxiety or approaching women in public or putting yourself out there a little more, but I really think, being able to overcome this hurdle can really be worth it for a lot of guys, especially if you're a guy who's not seeing success on the apps. There really is no other option other than to get out of your comfort zone a little and put yourself out there. This could be going somewhere where you think you can meet someone, like a coffee shop, or joining a club, or involving yourself around other people where you would have an opportunity to meet someone. Or this could simply mean, approaching a woman in public if you've never done it before. So there are a ton of different ways that you can meet people aside from the apps. So I don't want you all to feel down and out if you're not having any success on the apps, because the truth is that they don't work for a lot of men, and you're not alone in feeling that way. But rest assured knowing that there are plenty of other options out there, aka meeting someone in person. Alright guys, that is all I have for this video. If you liked it or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to go follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. Love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.